Welcome in to Fast Break Tournament Edition, brought to you by Dorsey Furniture and Postal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer.
The time has finally come. Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. This is Fast Break Tourney Edition. We are here ready to bring you all the coverage from day one of Tourney 2025. Alongside Doug Banks, I'm Tyler Krusz. Jack Webb down in Augusta. We'll see him in a second. Doug, how are you doing tonight?
It's finally playoffs, man.
We've been talking about it all year.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, anytime. Doug's sticking around with us through the postseason on days that he's here. We'll start with some Class A action. But before we check in at the Augusta Civic Center, let's check the brackets. Class A girls quarterfinals kicking us off tonight. Those matchups are as follows. Lawrence, the top seed, taking on Nokomis. Winner plays the winner of 5-seed Gardner and 4-seed Camden Hills. Bottom of the bracket, number 6 Brewer, 3-seed Hamden. Coney clocking in at the 2-seed. They take on Skowhegan. All right, and without further ado, let's bring in our guy, Jack Webb, who has spent the evening down at the ACC. Jack, first time on this side of the court as a reporter, wearing the badge at the tournament. How's it going down there?
Tyler, I was telling everyone tonight, my dream was to always dive for a loose ball into one of these media tables. I'll settle for working behind one of the media tables. And let's just cut to the chase here. Let's get right to the highlights. Let's roll those clips and get to the great basketball we saw tonight. Tourney 2025 at the Augusta Civic Center kicked off with the 3-seed Hamden Academy girls squaring off with the 6-seed Brewer Witches. We pick it up from the start. Hamden up 2-0. Caitlin Adams finds Caitlin Murphy, who buries the 3 to put Hamden up 5. Next Broncos possession, it's Murphy's turn to share as she finds Aubrey Shaw, who drains the tray ball, and Hamden starts the game on an 8-0 run. Brewer looking to fight back. Jillian Ford has the ball at the top of the key, cashes in the three-pointer to cut the Bronco lead to 5, but this one would be all Hamden Academy as they move it around and feed Grace Labrie on the inside, who fights through the contact to lay it in. The Broncos move on by a score of 43-27.
It definitely builds some confidence. I think we just need to look ahead at our next competition because the job's not done and we're looking to go far.
The 2-seed Coney taking on the 7-seed Skowhegan. Winner takes on Hamden Academy next round. We pick this one up at the end of the first quarter. Kaya Doohan finds Rylan Miller wide open under the basket, gives Coney a 14-3 lead. Second quarter now, Skowhegan trying to get back in it. Allie Frey drives and lays it in to cut the Coney lead to 9. Coney held a steady lead for the majority of the game until Lydia Hederick fed Natalie Cook under the basket, made it a one-possession game. Coney down 1. Abby Morrill hands it off to Morgan Fitzthorne, who buries the 3, and Coney stays alive, winning 49-46. Moving right along to the 4-seed Camden Hills, taking on the 5-seed Gardner Tigers. That 4-5 matchup's always look forward to. We pick it up towards the end of the first quarter. Leah Jones hits Talia Marks, who drains the mid-range jumper to put Camden up 11. But just a few seconds later, Emily Brown catches the Windjammers off guard, gets hit with a pass in stride and lays it in for 2. What a pass, what a finish. Jones dishing it again now, this time to Rose Tozin, who puts it up for 2. Windjammers again as Hannah Stowe feeds Marks, who spins and hits the jumper with no hesitation. Camden Hills cruises to a 63-45 win. Townsend had 30 points tonight.
You know, she gets a lot of shots a game, and sometimes those don't fall. And we were just talking the other night, like, what if she gets 5 or 6 more of those to fall? Like, what happens? And that's what happened. Like,
finally, for the last game of the night down here in Augusta, the 1-seed Lawrence Bulldogs taking on the 8-seed Nokomis Warriors. We pick it up in the first quarter. Maddie Provost fires it ahead to Lily Gray, who lays it in and puts the Bulldogs up 4. Shortly after, Provost fires it up to Ella Minahan, who gathers the ball, then buries the corner 3. Provost was feeding all night long. Other end now, Danica McGlory pushing it. She finds Aaliyah Drummond, who buries the mid-range jumper to cut in the Bulldogs' lead. As it was all game, Provost doing her thing. She finds Amaya Lawyerson, who buries the 3, and Lawrence wins by a score of 77-36. They'll take on Camden Hills on Wednesday at 3:30.
That definitely boosts our confidence. We knew we had to go out tonight, rebound, and do the little things and just push the ball, so that really just helped us tonight.
All right, Jack, those semifinals matchups are all set. Great job down there at the ACC. We'll see the A North girls again, like you said, on Wednesday. But just your first time as a media member at these games, what are your takeaways from tonight's games while we still have you here?
Yeah, the atmosphere was awesome. And Tyler, I mentioned it in the 6 o'clock when we did the little hit. The Hamden girls came out ready to play. They got out to an 8-0 lead to start the game, and that's so rare in an environment like this. It's like a place, unless you get to play, at the Cross Insurance Center throughout the season, maybe down at the Expo in Portland, you don't necessarily get to feel like this. There's so much room behind the baskets. It can disrupt shooting. They did a great job coming out hot, hit 2 threes in that 8 points, and then Maddie Provost. Dare I say, the best facilitator in the state. She was doing her thing. It seemed like every time she made a pass, it led to an assist. That person made the basket. Lawrence was incredibly impressive. It's going to be a great day down here on Wednesday. And Tyler, the best part about tonight, we get to do it all again tomorrow, right?
Yes, we do. You'll be down there tomorrow for those boys games. Thanks for that, Jack, holding down the fort down at the ACC. With those games all set now, let's take a look at those Class A semifinals matchups and those updated brackets. Jack, thanks again for doing that down there. Drive home safe tonight. Lawrence and Camden Hills will play Wednesday at 3:30, and before that, Hamden and Coney, they will play at 2 p.m. on Wednesday in those semis. All right, more to come when we get back, our Class B games, and we finally get to hear from Doug. He's just been sitting here looking handsome. Stay with us. Welcome back into Fast Break Tourney 2025 edition alongside Doug Banks. I'm Tyler Krusz. Coastal Auto Parts and Dorsey Furniture are our sponsors. We've closed the book on the Augusta Civic Center for the night. We'll be back there tomorrow. Now it's time to get to the Class B quarters at the Cross. Doug, before we go, how you doing so far? Halfway into this thing?
Yeah, last year didn't go to one playoff game, except for one for some separate story. But this year to actually experience a game is amazing.
Yeah, and it just gets better and better as the stakes get higher as we keep going here on out. A lot of action from Bangor. Let's check out those Class B brackets to start. Top of the bracket is tomorrow for the girls. That's Ellsworth and MDI in the 4-5 matchup. Caribou and Presque Isle, the 1 and 8. Tonight we had number 6 John Bapst taking on number 3 Old Town and number 7 Herman against Erskine Academy.
For the boys, Caribou, the top seed 2, they play Belfast tomorrow, as does MDI in Winslow. Tonight the 2-time defending champs Orono took on Herman, while Old Town tried to knock off Ellsworth.
All right, let's get to those highlights. We'll roll from the Cross Center. We'll start with the girls' quarterfinals. First up in Class B girls, number 6 John Bapst taking on number 3 Old Town, the defending Northern Maine champs. First quarter, back and forth start. Taylor Madden taking it down on the fast break. She scores with the left hand, flips it up and in. Good first half from the junior. Claire Gattani now gives it up to Sophia Ward, gets it back, and buries a three-pointer from the corner. That puts Bapst up 9. They end the half up 3. Second half, Gattani drives, kicks to Anna Smith in the corner. She buries a triple of her own. Coyotes hanging around, though. Taylor Loring pulls a deep 3, and that one cuts the lead to 2. She had a few of those here in the second half, but the Crusaders would hold on. In the fourth, the steal out ahead to Gattani. She had a huge night. Bapst pulls off the upset. They win 59-56.
Now,
Well, we knew we were in it, and we were hitting our shots, which was perfect. So many people stepped up, so it was great. I've never made it to the tournament, so to get a first tournament win is also really special.
Now let's go to that second final girls quarter matchup. Upset-minded Herman Hawks taking on number 2 Erskine Academy. First half, Herman with the Madeline Tracy pulls the long 2. Bank is open this Friday. She connects, Hawks up 2 at the half. Third quarter, Lauren Northrup hesitates, gets into the lane and gets it to go. Still a close one. Brooke Gallup gets in, skips around the defense and banks it in. Later in the half, Erskine still fighting. Kelsey Dunn fires a skip pass to Kiana Morse. She buries the 3, and then it's Kinsey Ulmer. Beautiful entry pass to Dunn. She finishes. Erskine wins. Close one, 44-43.
All right, let's go to the boys' Class B North quarterfinals now. The first game to tip is the defending regional champions from Orono taking on the 6th seed, the Herman Hawks. First quarter, what a start for the Riots. Look at this pass from Brady Hughes to Noah Schaff. Wraps around the defense. Schaff gives him the assist by connecting. Will Francis now rises up and nails the mid-range jumper off the bounce. Riots led 14-0 to start. Second half, Mason Kinney, he's going to rise from three-point land. He sinks it. That makes it a 2-point game now. And right after, Carter Wiggin, his jumper ties the game, but the Riots, they just know how to win in February. Virgin Soderberg gets it inside, gets it to go, and 1, and then it's Francis again, getting the tough shot to go inside. Riots go on to win 60-43.
It took a lot. We knew they were going to be good, and we had to play hard, but we knew what it takes to win. We've won the last 2 years, so we know what it takes to win.
Now let's keep it at the Cross for a matchup between number 7 Old Town Coyotes versus the number 2 Ellsworth Eagles. First quarter, it's Emmett Byther. He gets it in the post. He rises up over the defense for 2. Old Town on the board first. Still on that end, Coyotes think they have an easy 2, but Dawson Curtis puts it where the band is. His own band. Come on, man. Eagles looking to make some offense. Braden King gets the backdoor feed. He'll put the ball in the cup through contact. Coyotes now, it's Ethan Clausen who draws the defense in, finds an open Tyler Priest for the corner 3. They'll tack on another. Old Town will ride away with this one, 47-34.
All right, let's go to those semis matchups now for the girls. Number 6, John Bapst. They look to stay alive against 2-seed Erskine Academy, and the boys are all set too. That's going to be Old Town taking on Orono. That's a matchup we've seen a lot lately here at the Cross Center. That should be fun, a rematch of last year's regional finals. All right, let's break it down now. It's time for the Rebound Doug, some of our favorite times of the night. I'll start with this one. We'll both talk a little Class B boys action from those evening games. That Orono-Herman one was a classic, and it really just epitomizes postseason basketball here in February. We all know the Riots are pretty comfortable in the Cross Center in February. I've said that. Back-to-back state champs, and they showed when it started. 14-0 run to start the game, 19-4 lead after the first quarter, but the Hawks came back firing. They tied it by scoring the first 7 points of the third quarter after a big second quarter. I think they outscored Orono 19 to 17, or 17 to 9, I want to say, in that second quarter. There's the math, not mathing at first. And then we saw first quarter Orono again. After the game got tied 28-28, they went on a little run to win 60-43. I was most impressed with point guard Brady Hughes. He's got big shoes to fill as a junior, stepping into the Pierce Walston role that he played the last few years, but he was just so smart tonight with his passes, mostly when to make them, when to look for his shot, when to kick it out and not even look for an assist, just reset the offense, throw in a natural athlete like Will Francis, who has developed a jumper, and a straight hooper like Bergen Soderberg, and they are a really hard team to beat. Look out for Orono in those semis.
Well, I mean, with a team like that, you got to have like probably the biggest target on your back. So to be able to, keep your composure in a place like that, it's credible.
Yeah. What'd you see from the Old Town game?
Well, it was a low-scoring game at first, and even though the scoreboard didn't really reflect it, those two were ready to battle from the jump. Old Town would take control in the first quarter with the help of Byther, who played with poise and being able to take his shot when he felt like it, which he can do because both of his height and offensive skills, and the ability to move the ball in order to make sure the offense isn't stagnant. And even though it was a low-scoring game at the first half, it wasn't because both teams were taking terrible shots. It's because the defense on both teams was physical and smart. There weren't a lot of fouls, and when teams play smart defense, they're able to manipulate shots and change the offense's game plan. And 9 seniors for Ellsworth. It's tough to lose like that, but it was a hard-fought game. Nothing to be ashamed of at all. They got some juniors coming behind them, so look out for them.
And when you got a player like Byther he can control the game in a one-and-done situation, which is what happened. All right, we will be back with more right after this. Stay with us. Welcome back into Fast Break Tourney 2025. Tyler Krusz here with Doug Banks, Coastal Auto Parts and Dorsey Furniture, our sponsors. Doug, almost time to say goodbye until day 2 of the tournament. That's tomorrow, but first, you got to see this. Typically, we do a play of the night, but tonight we have a player of the night, and it's John Bapst's Claire Gattani. The senior had never been to an MPA high school tournament. In her first game ever, she showed out. Credit to Eastern Maine Sports for these stats. 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists for Gattani. She was all over the place for her 6-seed Crusaders. 5 threes she made as they pull off the upset. We've seen a lot of spectacular individual performances over the years. This one certainly on the list. Congratulations to Gattani, the 1,000-point scorer, and to John Bapst. They're moving on to those semifinals.
Did you say that was their first playoff game?
Yeah, John Bapst hasn't made it in the last couple of years, so that's her first playoff game, 35 points and a win.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff right
insane.
there. That's going to close the book on night 1 of the Maine High School basketball tournament for us. Class A girls semis are set. We're halfway through Class B boys and girls. Class D takes over the Cross Center at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then we wrap up Class B at night while the A boys go at it in Augusta. Tons of exciting action on the docket for Saturday, and the entirety of the week. We'll be here right through it all, right here on ABC 7 and Fox 22. That's all from us tonight. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 10.